Hello, anyone and everyone. I am back and ready to play some Master Duel. So we had a new update. We had the Fusion Festival happen, and honestly, I have been playing the Fusion Festival a little bit. I am a bit of a hater of the game right now, but I play the Fusion Festival a little bit, and I'm having a lot of fun. And I wanted to bring you guys a deck that I think is just super good and really fun to play, and that is Giant Ballpark. And now, okay, before you click off the video, I know what you're thinking. Giant Ballpark. Oops, I hit my mic there. Giant Ballpark. It's just it's not that good. It's not crazy good. I'm here to tell you otherwise because of this one card, Retaliating Sea. When your opponent activates a spell card that includes an effect that special summons a monster, aka a fusion spell, you can special summon from your hand, and if it's special summoned, it's a macrocosmos. Anything card sent to the graveyard is banished instead. And that's really big because Shadal's, Fusion Destiny, just Poly with like Fluffles. Predator Planets don't care so much about it, but like all these things are very like all these things are like to get things into the graveyard and float off the resources, which Retaliating Sea completely stops. It is so much fun. And so we're going to quickly run through the deck list, and I'm going to show you some replays. So you need to play 6 vanillas. I feel like that's just universally agreed upon. Triple Insect Knight, triple Shiny Black Sea Squatter. These are the biggest ones. You need to play 3 because of Giant Ballpark's effect, which is during damage calc, if a player would take battle damage, you can make neither player take any damage, then send a level 4 or lower insect monster from your deck to graveyard. Then, if it was a normal monster, you can special summon any number of the monsters with the same name from your hand, deck, or graveyard. So if you draw them, if they go to the graveyard at a previous time, they can just come back. And this helps you basically facilitate just a one-turn kill. You don't one-turn kill all the time, but because of Giant Ballpark, you can grind pretty hard. Because if a monster you control is sent to your graveyard opponent's card effect, you can special summon an insect from your graveyard. So it could keep floating if they get popped and stuff. You can grind reasonably well. You're not like the highest power ceiling deck in the format, but the tools at your disposal are very fun and also pretty strong against the meta. So obviously we're running 2 Maxi. And why are we running 2 Maxi? Because Retaliating Sea, when it goes to graveyard, it searches Maxi. So they out a Macrocosmos, and then they need to deal with a Maxi. So it's a pretty gross combo. Just the fact that you open Retaliating Sea, and the entire format can't really play their fusion spells. Triple Ash Blossom, it's to stop Maxi mostly, but also it's good against Shadal Fusion and Fusion Destiny. It's just a staple 3 of in this format. Goki Pole. Goki Pole is a strong card, basically. It gets sent to the graveyard off of Resonance Insect or off of just you popping with like DPE or something, which does come up because the format's a little bit slower. It's not like super slow, but it is pretty slow. But yeah, if it's sent to graveyard in general, it can add a level 4 insect, so it can search Retaliating Sea, Resonance Insect, your free extender. It can search just your entire deck basically, but if it searches a normal monster, you can summon it and pop a monster with more attack than it. Now these guys are pretty beefy, you're not always getting the pop off, but sometimes you just get that free special summon and just go boom. Aztekapede, it's just a free special summon, it triggers Resonance Insect, which Resonance Insect says when it's sent from the field to graveyard, you can add a level 5 or higher insect, which is either one of the Godarlas to out DPEs and yada yada yada, or Doomdozer. Doomdozer can banish 2 insects to special summon himself, and he has a 2800 beat stick. You OTK pretty easily with this deck, but Aztekapede is basically a tiny Doomdozer. He's a 1900 beat stick that you summon for free. Resonance Insect, obviously we went over that. If it's sent to the graveyard, it searches a higher insect, and if it's banished, it sends an insect from your deck to the graveyard, which is Goki Pole, and then Goki Pole triggers to add a normal monster or a Retaliating Sea, or you get the whole picture. We already went over Retaliating Sea, crazy card, the whole reason we're playing the deck. Danger Mothman, this can be a cut from the deck. Honestly, I have found it made hands awkward. It's kind of just like consistency. If there's anything I would change about the list, it would be the Mothman. I'd maybe put in like cherries or more hand traps, or like going second cards like Lightning Storm, or triple tactics talents. You can play around the list at all. It is super budget, so we just wanted to make this as budget as possible. And I know we have a couple URs here, but they're mostly optional, with the exception of hand traps, but you should already have these hand traps. We're playing obviously Doomdozer and Godarla. Godarla is really good in this format. It just outs monsters, and you can pop it with either of the insects off of Goki Pole. That being said, sometimes you do have a situation in which Godarla is pretty hard to out. If you can run the other kaiju, the smaller one, the 2400 one, I believe it is. It's here, it's 2400. If you can run that, it's better. I just didn't want to craft it because as you can see, I just finished crafting Sword Soul. so my resources are pretty low. But anyways, we have the terraformings. We have terraforming. Searches Ballpark. Ballpark's the best card in your deck. If you don't have terraforming, you don't need to run it, but it's highly recommended, as it's just another copy of Giant Ballpark, which this deck lives and dies by. Gold Stark is a combo starter, so you activate Gold Stark, banish Resonance Insect. As Resonance Insect sends Goki Pull, either adds a guy or summons. You get the picture here. You're just blind going second most of the time, but sometimes you go first, and sometimes just like having Retaliancy is enough to just win in this format. We went over Giant Ballpark. I keep hitting my mic. I'm sorry. I'm moving my hands a lot. We went over Giant Ballpark. Basically, it OTKs dudes. Any normal summon plus activate Giant Ballpark equals and a really cool thing is if your opponent has a large monster on the board and you have Goki Pull and Giant Ballpark in your hand, which Goki Pull can go in, you take no damage from the battle because of Ballpark. You summon 3 2k beat sticks. Goki Pull triggers, adds an Insect Knight specials, and then pops, and then it's 2, 4, 6, and then 7, 9, so you 100 life points off. But hopefully you found another special summon, or you have Retaliating C on the way. A lot of times people can't really outgrind you, especially if you have our up-and-coming card, DPE. But yeah, 2 Imperms, it should be 2 Veilers. You can put in 2 Veilers. Go crazy. And I glazed over it, but the Fusion Destiny engine, if you draw Fusion Destiny, you're just that much stronger, basically. That is what it is. Like, if you draw DPE, you win. And the deck abuses DPE's infinite pops a lot, because a lot of times you can't reasonably get your Goki Pull, your Resonance in the graveyard, your Retaliating C in the graveyard, because you have no Link monster. You don't have El Mirage, you don't have any of that stuff. So what you can do is you can pop Goki Pull in your opponent's monster, pop, and get those effects resolved. So basically, that's the deck. I have some replays. It is really fun to play, and honestly, I am liking it more than the actual main game right now. I do have Sword Soul, so no promises, but I may make some more videos. It's kind of iffy for me. Whoops. I'm just that micro load is so annoying. I'm kind of disillusioned with the game. It's not the new stuff. Oh yes, I'm Bronze 4. I haven't played it all, but I am playing against some real players, so forgive me, but it is what it is. It's I saved a lot of replays. We're not going to go through all of them. So we open a pretty alright hand, although we are going first. So I activate Ballpark just in case my opponent doesn't read. Now this is me taking advantage of Bronze players. They didn't really read Ballpark. I mean, they were going to pop it with Celestial, but no, they let me trigger Ballpark. I summon triple Insect Knight. Boom. He passes. Game over, pretty much. Draw Maxi for turn. We get to tribute. So what's really funny here, there was not a lethal with the 3 Insect Knights if we hit, and then because we could only summon 2 of the dudes. But if we tribute summon Godarla, it's lethal. So it was a pretty funny thing. Summon 3 Squatter, hidden, boop boop boop, dead. Nice and simple. He scoops. Doesn't want the 50 medals. Sure. A hand without Ballpark, it does suck. It really does. Playing against Fluffles. So I'm like, oh man, this might be a rough one. So he goes Penguin, summon Dolphin. Dolphin set Toy Vendor. Now, Retaliating C only works on a spell card that activates when it's special summoned. So yes, Toy Vendor can special summon, and this does say includes an effect. It only works. It doesn't work off of effect. So it's like if a spell card is activated, not a spell card or effect that is activated. But there, I can chain it right off the poly, force him to banish 2 of his mats. Summons for Cruel Whale, pops Toy Vendor and Retaliating C. I get to trigger Retaliating C. Search Resonance Insect. I figured that searching Maxi isn't good here because his turn is just about over, which it is. He just bins an Extender from hand and then passes turn. Here, I need to set up more resources, as I know I can't OTK, so I just go fire off DPE immediately, set Goki Pull, or normal summon the Goki Pull. The reason I normal summon Goki Pull is to sink in 1,000 damage, but also it can be a pop too if I need it. Wasn't super thought. Honestly, I should have set the Resonance Insect, but is what it is. Pop in for 1,000. So yeah, DPE is a very good card. Who would have guessed? DPE comes back, and I pop the Dolphin, and he cannot play from there. You can trigger Goki Pull, add a Retaliating C, summons Chain, and passes. Draw Astral Turn just to rub salt in the wound there. Now I didn't have OTK, but I was so far ahead at advantage. Like this deck can just keep pumping out advantage just endlessly. And then I Ash the Edge of Chain just for like salt in the wound. and he is left on no cards. I have so many cards in hand. I summon the Dozer, spin the Goki pull, special. Oh right, I did have lethal. I forgot. Always attack with Doom Desolest if you can help it, because it mills one off the top. And like my friend, he grinded the. He's in I believe Plat 4. We both took a break from the game. Oops, I was gonna play another. We both took a break from the game. He blew through the event. He said he had a great time. We made the list together. I play a lot of B-Troopers in the TCG, so it just felt very easy to build. We just threw all this stuff together. So much fun to play. We were just sitting there together playing giant Ballpark, goofing off. I think Master Duel would really benefit from a like super casual mode, or just casual mode, because like playing this format competitively isn't that fun, but playing it casually and just like not caring is actually pretty friggin' fun, and that's something that I do feel like we are lacking. Also, best of 3 mode would be nice. Yeah, he's doing DP things. Italian Sea search the Gogi pull. Boom. And the reason we have Godarla, just fantastic. So I can crash the Goki pull now, search the Insect Knight. So it is such a cool play. I attack to stop the damage over the Godarla to do this play. So the Goki pull crashes, I don't take any damage, and I get to get full lethal and the pop and whatnot. And I did attack in a bit of a wrong order there because I forgot Insectipede, or Aztecapede milled one. But that's okay. We get that turbo lethal. So not all hands are like, you know, big dubs instantly. I just watched, I don't know, let's watch the 6-turn one. One more. This is the most I played Master Duel in months, though. Like, man. And again, I did not open Ballpark all day. It was infuriating. So, Retaliating Sea against Poly, it is disgusting. And it is Predaplant this time. You'll be running into a lot of loner decks. Start off Gold Sark, banish the Rezo trigger, send the Goki pull, but I misplayed. And that's just a big oof. That felt so bad. I misplayed because I was like, oh my god, Retaliating Sea was on the board. What am I doing? I was just feeling so good about the opening, and then instantly I was shut down. I was just so depressed. But yeah, I searched Max C. Opponent doesn't really want to play into it. You know how it is. And we top deck Fusion Destiny like a gamer. Fusion Destiny off the top is just disgusting. It's so hard to deal with DPE if they don't have Super Poly in this format. Pop. Now, I actually probably could have gotten lethal that turn if I popped the Resonance Insect, triggered that. No, I couldn't special summon other monsters that turn. That's why I didn't go for lethal. Whoops. And it is basically game from here on out. Summon the Goku Ball off a Dasher. Summon the DPE. Account. Lethal on board. Go straight to battle. End it up. Again, guys, if you haven't crafted DPE, I consider this a budget deck entirely through and through. Because if you haven't crafted DPE, what are you doing? DPE is insanely overpowered. It's just such a good card. Just you can put it in everything. I got a DPE salad list coming up real soon, so stay tuned for that. That is something I will post. Anyways, thank you for watching, everyone. Have a good one.